So Lionel, can you tell us a little bit about this old Mori-Seiki you've got in your workshop, mate?
Yeah, so I was back in Australia a couple of years ago and buying up some material to build my steam launch. And while I was there, I met up with some friends of mine I used to work with in the tooling industry, and one of them mentioned that, or asked me, was I looking for a milling machine? And I said, look, I just bought my NTX and I really wasn't cashed up to be buying anything else. And he said, oh, I might have a bargain for you. And took me out to the back of his workshop, and he bought up from a large aerospace manufacturer. He bought up 3 old Moris that were being replaced, and he had this one here. And we managed to pick this up for $7,000 Australian, including about 30 tools to go with it. So very, very cheap buy. I couldn't resist it. So had a container coming back anyway, so threw it in the container, and here it is.
And I believe it's a 1993 Mori-Seiki MV Junior, is that correct?
Yeah, it's a very old solid machine, and in fact in Asia there's many of these around. They are very reliable old machine, not the latest and greatest by any means, but still, very capable of making parts.
So how often do you use this old Mori, Lionel?
Well, I myself have used this for about an hour. We brought it back and it sat here for, best part of a year, I suppose, while I was learning to drive the NTX. And my apprentice here got very interested in it, and he'd never done any CNC. So we fired it up and managed to punch a bit of simple code into it, managed to cut a couple of simple things, and my apprentice speaks zero English. Anyway, he asked me if he could have the instruction manual. Figured it could do no harm, so I gave him the instruction manual. He took it home, walked back in the door 2 weeks later and said, right, I'm ready to have a go at it. Anyway, I don't know how he did it. I really don't know how he did it. He's had zero training, and he managed to fire up the machine and make some very simple parts. You really have to hand it to him. He managed to get the tool changer working. He managed to buy a drip feeder, fit it to the machine so he could drip feed code into the machine. He downloaded a demo version of Fusion 360, taught himself to use the Fusion 360, and managed to create code, get it in the machine, and cut parts all by himself with zero English.
So he must have been, Google Translate or something?
I don't know. Or he had a magic wand. I don't know how he did it, but he did it, and he did it in 2 weeks.
We've got some parts over here that Fap's been making. And,
yes, look, he started off milling a few square blocks and drilling and tapping a few holes. And I thought I'd make life more interesting for him, so I modelled up some steam engine parts in SolidWorks. Gave him the parts, and within a day or two he'd machined all the parts out. One of my friends in Australia asked me if we could machine up some simple cores for some casting that he was doing, and Pat managed to machine up these little cores. And literally he's been playing with this machine for 3 months, and he's managed to machine all this out totally alone, totally by himself.
So it turns out the old Mori was a good investment, Lionel.
Oh, look, I thought it would make a good machine for just him doing some training, or for the pair of us to do some training. But as it's turned out, it's very, very accurate. We were told when we bought it that it was still certified. They were having it certified every year, and it was still under current certification. And obviously they've been maintaining it very well, because the whole thing works perfectly.
And that was aerospace certification?
Yes.
Oh, well, thanks, Lionel. Thanks for showing us your old Mori, and I really appreciate it.
No problem.